Hello and welcome to Dabbling in Journals, and today I'm going to be sharing the makeover that I've done in my creative studio. I'm going to begin showing you a few clips of me clearing out all the mess, and then I shall show you some photos and then take you on a little tour sharing my storage ideas in case you're interested. And thank you everybody that gave me hints and tips. I found them all really useful, and some I have followed and some I have totally ignored. But I hope you enjoy. This is the point when you're doing a room makeover, when you think, oh my goodness, why on earth did I decide to do this impossible task? Look at it all. I don't know where to start hardly. Oh my goodness, I'm never going to be able to find anything again. As you can see, I am following Louise's advice, and I have taken about half of the stuff out of my art room now, and I'm exhausted, and I have quite a lot more to do. Oh my, oh my. Why did I decide to do this? I don't know. Let's hope it's all worth it. Oh, I've done it. I have taken everything out of my room apart from the furniture. I've even taken the covers off the dog beds to wash. Everything is gone apart from that little chest, which I'm going to upcycle a little bit, that pen chest. My Kallax unit is now empty. And if you're wondering why it's black, I will tell you, some of it's dirt, but it's also soot, because I light a lot of candles in here, and it's not a very big room, so I have to remember next time to open the door before I light candles. So yes, I am well and truly exhausted, but I did it, Louise. I took everything out of my room. I hope you're proud of me. So coming into my room, and the first thing we see is River, who is, as always, on her bed. You see, I couldn't deprive her of her bed, could I? She does love it. Now, as you could see from the photographs, I did choose the colour green, and I took your advice, guys. I didn't paint it all dark, although it's probably darker than a lot of you would like, but I went for the feature wall idea that somebody gave me, and then I did the same colour in a lighter tone, I guess the word is, I don't know, so that it wouldn't be dark all over. Here I've put all the postcards that were stuck onto my old wall with blue tack into a frame, and I got that idea from one of you. I can't remember who it was, but somebody said that they put all little notes and bits inside a frame, and I thought that was a really cool idea. So that's what I've done with my postcards. Put a couple of my favourite things that my girls have made me on the wall, and then if we spin round, I will show you the storage. So the piece de resistance is this beautiful desk I found. I absolutely love it. It's reclaimed wood with this really pretty edge that's been made. Don't think it grows like that. And I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous. So I threw practicality to the wind. I didn't get the IKEA desk and the Alex drawers. Instead, I bought this desk and I really, really, really love it. And I think it gives me just the kind of rustic vibe that I was after. Over here, I kept one of these little pieces and I have filled that up with journaling supplies. This half of the windowsill has to stay empty because the dogs look out of the window and so their paws are all over there. Haven't painted the windowsill yet, I need to do that. And I've got a fake plant, and again, that's because of the dogs. If I put a real one there, they'd probably dig it up or eat it. And a little trinket pot. And as I said, this is full of journaling supplies. So I've got stamps, I've got stickers, I've got sticker tins, I've got my pretty pat pouch, I've got my green pouch. Round there is my electric pencil sharpener because I can't live without that, and some cloths for mopping up if I need them. Oh, and I put Kiwi Penguin's little coffee cup on the front of this unit, which I think looks really cool. And then as we come round, I have hung some Traveller's Company bags on the wall. And what I was hoping was to try and give the feeling that my key passions are Traveller's notebooks. So if we come down here, I have all my Traveller's notebooks on my desk. I have culled my collection slightly, so there will be some giveaways of pre-loved Traveller's notebooks coming up on my channel. So if you're interested, keep an eye out for those. I'll probably do the first one in the next video. So here I have my project book, my sister journal with all my family inserts in, and my A5 sketchbook. Then here I have my commonplace book with a few items that I treasure, my new glass pen, my little glass stamps, and some dried flowers. And then there I have my Le Cow journal with my 5-year Hobonichi in it, and my Superior Labour pencil case, and my little teeny tiny passport traveller's notebook that Kiwi Penguin made for me, and I absolutely love. If I come in, you can see it's even got my name on it. That's so cool. And then coming down, I've got my travel journal, and then inside the unit I've got a sojourner with my personal diary in it, my camel traveller's notebook which has my sketchbooks in it, my green or olive has my tarot inserts in it, my black is my dog one, and then I've got my planner, my sojourner planner, a chic sparrow pocket size sketchbook, and then my little passport traveller's notebooks. I've only got one that I'm keeping that's in a cupboard because I couldn't find a place for it. I've got my little Delphonics pouch up on the top there so I can easily reach the bits and pieces that are in it. And then here on my desk I have my polychrome moss coloured pencils and another pencil roll which has got all its and bits in. Oh, and if we go back I can show you, I have this pen chest. So in the top here, Sarasa pens, my old liners, Fudenosuke brush pens, dot pens, all my different fine liners, and Faber-Castell Picked Artist pens. So they're all within easy reach, which is lovely. This little drawer here, which is also on my desk, is full of PET tape, which is cool. And obviously I have my two, I don't know what they're called. One that I put my phone on to record, and the other one is a light. And I know somebody was worried that if I painted the room a colour, it might give my skin a strange hue when I'm filming myself. So let's wait and see till next time I do that to see whether or not this green makes my skin look green so that I'm the Wicked Witch of the East. On this shelf here, I've got my little Sumika Gurashi white bear and my new pen cases. I forget what the make of those is called. Of course I do. It's just gone out of my head with my new little pin. Here now with you. I've got my favourite tarot deck in a little bag I crocheted for it, and a candle. And coming down, let's have one more look at this beautiful desk. I've got some cups there that I use for water on my little mat that Suzanne made for me, which I adore. Under my desk, I have had to put some stuff under my desk, but I found these lovely boxes that have lids, so hopefully the stuff won't get too dusty. I've got a laminator, things like that in the bottom one. I got a die cutting machine, and then I think the top ones have yarn in one and sewing bits and pieces in the other. So they're not things I use a lot. And then right down the side here, I've got my paper cutter, a big glass craft mat, and my larger art pads. So let's have a look now at the Kallax unit. I have stained this stool to match the pen chest that I also stained. And I'm keeping that for now because somebody suggested to me that I should keep my trolley in here because it would give me extra desk space if I needed it. But it was a really thin trolley and it's really wobbly unless it's pressing against a wall. So I've repurposed that in the house somewhere else. And I'm leaving that stool here, and I'm going to live with the room and decide whether or not I want some kind of trolley, or whether or not just that stool might be adequate for me to just pull around and pop things on. We'll see. I've got a Superior Labour bag hanging on the wall, which I think looks really cool. Let me go back. So that's how the whole wall looks. And then the Kallax unit, such a small room, I can't get far enough away for you to sort of see it all. But I have put things on the top, but I've chosen wooden pieces. Somebody advised me to pick out all wooden pieces. I've put a little plant there. Then I've got my easel and some paint brushes, my little wooden man. That black contraption is actually light, which gives me some nice gentle light if I want to be cozy in here. And I've got my Traveller's Factory bag that Mel sent to me, which I love, so that's on display. My colour pencils, these drawers all completely come out, so I can just take those out and pop them on my desk, which is really handy. And then I've got that bottle that lights up, and this little bottle with a plant in it. More Traveller's Factory things up here, and my card of the week. And then this all contains washi, and again these drawers come completely out. She says trying to do it with one hand, and I can put that on my desk if I want to use washi, and then just put it all away neatly. And then on the wall here I have my little Traveller's Factory pouches, my little elephants behind there, and I do have my other Superior Labour bag hanging here on a hook. And so let's have a look at what I've put in the cupboards, just in case you're interested in sort of organisation ideas. And I am finding it really much better having the cupboards, because even if they're getting a mess inside, it's not going to bother me because I won't be able to see it. But it's forced me to organise, and it's been really useful. I now know where everything is, more or less. So this cupboard is full of oil and acrylic painting supplies. My oil and acrylic paints are actually in the easel behind, in the compartments behind, but all the other paraphernalia that you need is in this first cupboard. Next cupboard has markers. So I've got all my markers stacked up in there. And again, I can take this unit out if I want to. I was thinking I might glue it, because at the moment it's just slotted together. But if I glued it together, it'd be easier to take in and out when I want to use it, without worrying about it collapsing. And then in this cupboard, I have all my pastel supplies. So I've got my pan pastels, my soft pastels, and my pastel pencils. And there's a sample of some oil pastels that I haven't tried yet that came in a scrawler box. And I've also got a few coloured pencil bits here, and colour pencil solvent. So that's all those kinds of things. And then the last cupboard in the top is watercolour. So I've got my big container now full of my watercolour paints, watercolour pencils, watercolour crayons, spare palettes, my big desk palette, which all I've got on here, because it's got a very flimsy lid, so all I've put on here are soft cloths, you know, that I can use when I am working with paint or ink to wipe up, and dry brushes and all that kind of thing. So that's all organised with watercolour supplies, and really pleased with that. And I bought these little shelves in, you know, sort of separately to go in the cupboards, and they're really useful, and they're quite narrow, so I can still have brushes and things going that way, but it does mean that I haven't got the weight of everything all piled up on top of each other. So I think that's been really useful. And because everything's in a cupboard, I don't mind using these kind of less than beautiful bins to keep things in. Here I've got all my stickers and stamps and embellishments and journaling supplies. And again, I've put these in a tub. I can just pull that out when I want to use them. I'll come back to the drawers. This one is just full of craft supplies. I really culled that collection, and I passed on a huge amount of art supplies to my daughter, who's going to have an art room, and she is training as an art therapist, so it seems like they'll get good use. That's just office supplies, you know, laminating pouches and card and paper and stuff like that. And then this one is full of tarot, and I do want to think of a way of organising that cupboard. That is very much just piled up at the moment, so I will think about that. And I've got, my mission is to crochet a little bag for each deck, so I've done about 5, I think, so far. And then this one, this is all ink. Can you believe that is all ink? The top shelf is Distress ink. Then on the bottom, I've got Distress Oxide ink. And then in the box, this box here, which I can now just easily pull out, that's got Versamagic inks in. And then I've just got some like ink pads and an ink stamping blocks and so on. And then we're in the final cupboard. And this has all journaling supplies. And there is the little journal that I didn't find a place for. So it's sitting there waiting, hopefully, for me to find it a place. So yeah, I got all journaling supplies in that one. And then I decided to go for bins on the bottom rather than cupboards. And that was an economy because I'd gone for a more expensive table and I was trying to keep within budget. Hence I didn't get drawers under the table and I didn't put cupboards in the bottom row. But in fact, I'm really glad I did, because the 12 by 12 papers that I have in here would not fit inside a cupboard. They're just slightly too big. So they're better off in a bin. And actually, when you're this low down, having a bin that you pull out and look into is actually easier, I think, than a cupboard, because I'd have to be like sitting on the floor to see in a cupboard. So that one, as you can see, is full of my pouches. This one is full of art paper and sketchbooks. And then the very last one is archived inserts. So, have I shown you everything? Oh no, I haven't shown you the drawers. Now these drawers, as Catherine pointed out to me in the comments to my earlier video, they are very shallow. But I decided in the end that I would get just 4. And can you see the, I don't know if I can show you, hang on, go this way. They're very shallow this way, so only 7 centimetres, although in fact, the height you've got is more than 7 centimetres. So depending on how you store stuff in here, you can put bigger things, if you see what I mean. But what I've got in this drawer is, these are just my watercolour markers, the, what are they called? Clean Colour Real Brush markers by Zig. I have in this pen roll, I've got my Pentel Touch markers and then coloured fine liners there. And then I also have my graphite pencils. That's a graphite pencil pouch too. So that's all like nice and easy and accessible in that drawer, and looks quite well organised, I think. The next drawer is a nightmare. This is just completely full of adhesives and string. Why does any person need this amount of adhesive? And then there's not even any sellotape in there, which is useful to have. So I just seem to have accumulated a lot of adhesives, and they weren't all together before, and I just couldn't believe it when I kept finding more and more. So I have a whole drawer full. But yeah, I don't think anybody needs that amount of adhesive. This drawer is full of tools, and again, it's a bit of a shambles. I think I need to get some containers to divide things up. But you see, I'm quite glad that the drawer's not too deep, because imagine how much more I would stuff in it and how much more difficult it would be to find things. So yeah, that drawer needs a bit more organising, I think. And then we have this drawer, which I have organised a little bit, but do you see how I could put a tool container, even though it's only 7 centimetres, I could put a taller container in here, and that's full of, I don't know if it's pronounced Fimo or Fimo clay. Anyway, it's like that little coloured clay. The children really love playing with that. Quite enjoy it myself. I've got pencil sharpener and this little jam jar, which has got small tools in that I thought I would never find in that other drawer if I put them in there. That's the tapes for my label maker. And that's a good point, actually. I haven't seen my label maker. Where did that go to? I have to have a look for that. More small tools, punches, corner rounders, my date stamp, that kind of thing. And then here I've got 2 little pots. This is full of erasers, most of which, I don't know where I keep them. They've come in scrawler boxes or whatever. And some of them are good, like these Derwent ones are good erasers. And some of them are just not good at all. So I don't know why I didn't just throw them away, but I might see if my son wants them. I doubt it. And then this is full of pencil sharpeners, different kinds of pencil sharpeners, and spare leads for mechanical pencils, and spare refills for pens. So, oh, and that is a tool for lighting candles. Just recharge it with a USB, and I've got rulers. So that's that drawer. So I think the drawers are quite useful, but I think the main reason I wanted them was aesthetic, just to break up the sort of look of the unit. So as you can see, DIY is not one of my skills, so my cupboards are all a little bit wibbly wobbly. They're not, you know, the doors aren't hung on straight or anything like that. And you know what, I don't care. Life's too short. I love it. I love how it looks. I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to that kind of thing. And yeah, I'm really, really happy. So that is my unit. So yes, I finally have my beautiful, rustic, tranquil, cosy, calm little space to work. It feels so much less cluttered. Everywhere I look, I feel that I'm looking at something that I love and that is beautiful, in my opinion. I was thinking up on the top of the wall that I might get some A4 white frames and frame some of my own artwork to decorate the top of the wall. So if I do that at any point, I will show you. And yeah, that is my new room. So thank you very much for joining me on this journey. If you have any questions, do pop them in the comments. And River can't say goodbye because look, she's fast asleep. And I kept the mirrors. Because I think they bounce the light around the room. And I kept the bookshelf, which has got lots and lots of books, but I've tidied it up. And on the top, I just put a couple of items rather than the big pile that was there before. So a small space, but I have managed to cram in lots and lots of different kinds of supplies. So if you think about it, I mean, this part of the room isn't used for supplies. All I'm really using is that box, the desk area, and one Kallax 4x4 unit. And I've managed to pack in, I think, an awful lot of stuff. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.